It's Jono and Nats from Dubon 92, and look who we're joined by, the wonderful Melanie C. Melanie,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So we did a bit of a Q&A session today at Roxy Cinemas, and you were talking a bit about the music that you've got coming up and stuff, and you're really secretive about it.
Yeah, I am. I kind of don't feel quite ready to reveal all just yet, but it's very exciting. And as we said today in the Q&A, it's a little bit of a departure from my last album, which was very electronic. So yeah. Imagine the exact opposite of that.
We were talking, when we chatted to you on the phone before you came over for Blended Music Festival, about some of the collaborations you've done. You'd said that Bryan Adams was one of your favourite collaborations to do. Is there any collaborations coming up, or is there anyone that you would like to collaborate with?
There aren't any collaborations on this album currently. I'd love to work with Sia.
Yeah, you mentioned this because your daughter's birthday was on and you were listening to Sia, right? And Dua Lipa, I think you said?
I was DJing, yeah. I had a little DJ set and I had to find the clean version of so many songs.
Yeah.
Because like the kids love all these songs and there's bad words in them.
So
they're not fit for 9-year-olds.
On this new album, have you got any other side projects that you're working on? You tend to do stuff at the same time. Anything that you could let us know about?
Well, the DJing is something which I'm doing. I did my first gig a couple of weeks ago in Paris, which was really fun and it went really well. So
what type of venue was that?
It was actually a party. It was like a fashion party thing. It was in a club. It was a place called Bada Boom. And yeah, it was really cool. I've been doing a 90s set because it's, such a great era, obviously. But it's a great era for music. It's quite eclectic as well. So it's quite fun getting all the tunes out.
What about a hint as to when we're going to be able to get our hands on this new album?
Again.
Keeping the cards close to my chest.
No, do you know what? It's just that I want to get it right. And we're getting close to finishing the recording. So hopefully this year.
We got to talk about the fans because we get to see a lot of fans for a lot of different artists, and I think your fans are probably the most passionate, the most informed, the most involved. Do you feel like they're almost an extension of your family because they do know so much about you? They know everything. They know every song, every lyric, every album you've ever put out. They know everything about it.
They know more about me than I do.
Yeah, right.
And they know where I'm going to be when I never know where I'm supposed to be. No, it's incredible, actually. And it is, it's this incredible international network of fans. I think especially since social media, people have joined forces. And a lot of these people, I never, go to a new country or in a new place and not recognize at least a few people, and I've really watched them grow up as well. So it is like this extended Big Spice family.
Yeah, at the Q&A today there were people literally hyperventilating at the chance to see you, to ask you a question. How does that still feel after all these years?
One of the questions today was something about being a celebrity, or does it feel weird to be a celebrity or something, and it never stops being weird because at the end of the day I'm just a person, but I was super lucky and I got to achieve my dreams and people appreciate that, so it's nice to have that reaction.
Just to bring it back to that, the whole celebrity lifestyle, I guess people forget that Monday to Friday you're doing regular mum things, right? You're doing regular life continues as normal.
Oh, some of my favourite things are, I can go and do something fabulous. A few weeks ago, I was at the Prince's Trust and I was presenting an award and Prince Charles was there and there was a little, royal line-up, so I had my best frock on, shook hands with Prince Charles. And then I went home and emptied the dishwasher.
Yeah. People don't realise that there's a regular
This isn't rock and roll. But, of course, I am a mum and I I pick up after a few children and a grown up, which isn't me. And it's just life is life. You got to do what you got to do.
Now, when you look back at your gigs and your career, which has been phenomenal, some standout gigs in there, and even some that I think, I just think they're iconic. Some of the gigs that you performed, either as part of the Spice Girls or solo, have been incredible. What would be your most standout gig? What's the one that still to this day you think, wow, that was something else?
The number one that springs to mind was the Olympics.
Yeah,
London
that's
2012.
the one performance, and I think
Yeah.
It was incredible. Nobody expected it, and what went down was phenomenal. I think it's going to stick in everyone's mind. And either out of any Olympic ceremony I've ever seen, that's the only one where I thought, wow, where do I get this on iTunes?
Well, it was, we were quite late to the party, actually. It was only a few weeks before when we were approached. And then we all got together and we rehearsed. And it was really nerve-wracking. We almost didn't get a rehearsal in the stadium, and of course we were on top of the taxi cabs. So we did a Divas drop, and we were like, if we don't get a rehearsal, we ain't going on. But we thought it was a health and safety issue. We did have to have a go. We were very nervous about being on top of those cabs. And luckily we did get our rehearsal after putting our foot down. And it was incredible. We hadn't really been together as a band since social media has become what it is now. And, even when we reunited in 2007, I don't know, Facebook was around, but Twitter, I'm not sure, definitely no Instagram. And when we did the Olympics, I think Twitter was quite at the height of, of everyone being really into it. And we could just see all of these tweets coming in from all over the world, and everybody was so excited to see the Spice Girls. And, we were watching that just before we went on stage, so it was pretty incredible.
Mentioning, there's been a lot recently, a lot of big events with the #MeToo campaign, a whole lot of stuff that's been empowering women. And I think now more than ever, women and girl power is a thing that needs to be highlighted. Do you think that girl power needs to be brought back in some respects from you guys, from your point of view? When you do your stuff, do you kind of keep that in your mind? And
I think girl power is alive and well, and there are so many great young female artists who are doing, great stuff, great attitude, really strong women. Yeah, and what's so lovely is a lot of these artists mention the Spice Girls as being fans of them when they were kids, being inspired by them. Artists like Dua Lipa and Adele, Mer, Anne-Marie. The list is pretty endless, really. It's lovely. I get to meet a lot of younger artists, and a lot of them, if not all of them, were Spice Girls fans. It's so nice. And, and it really feels like we're passing on the baton to those guys. And when us girls got together recently, and we were talking about the future of the Spice Girls, and we just feel like it is very important to empower women and to empower people. And that's what we did in the 90s, and that's what we want to continue to do. That's what we would like our legacy to be.
And before we finish this up, I got to ask, because sometimes we ask celebrities, do you have an alias social media account where you go and follow whoever you want so that nobody looks and goes, look, Mel C's following so-and-so? Because
I'd never thought of doing that, but it's
should.
a really good idea. I'd like to do it and not troll people, but troll trolls. That's what I'd like to do. Yeah.
You should think about getting one. It'd be really good. Look, we wish you the very best of luck. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here for Blended Music Festival.
Thank you.
And thank you for chatting to us
Pleasure.
so freely of your time today. Thank you.
Dubai 92.